Alright guys, so we're going to go over another business concept today that is also pretty fundamental. If you haven't caught the theme yet, a lot of the tech and business concepts I'm talking about, if not all of them, are pretty fundamental, and I do plan on going up from there based on my personal experience in tech and life, and just additional research on the subject matter that catches my interest, as well as recommendations that you guys throw my way. So again, today we'll be talking about branding. What is a brand? And what is branding, the action of it, and we'll go on from there. If you're interested, stay on for the rest of the video. So before I started this YouTube channel, which is just a hobby for me, it's nice to do, I'm sure I was like most, if not borderline all YouTubers who, want this to do well to some degree, whatever that means for you, whether that means sponsorships, financially, whether it's just a hobby, maybe a networking tool, whatever the case is, right? And you immediately get into the mindset of trying to get everything right. You want to get the branding down right. You want to get the quality right. You want to get the sound quality right, the lighting, and you want to get all the right equipment. You do research on that. You're trying to gauge how expensive this is going to be and stuff like that. What you're trying to do is you're trying to establish a certain level of high quality and professionalism, I guess you can say, out the gate. Because when people see that, including the thumbnails, the quality of the thumbnails and stuff like that, it shows them how solid you are. It shows them how good you are. And these are all details that speak to your brand. I want to reference this content creator based in Atlanta. She's from New York, but she's based in Atlanta. I've never interacted with her at all, but I just enjoy watching her videos. Her name is Hello Corey, and I'll make sure to include like a screenshot of her YouTube channel, her YouTube page. And I enjoy watching her videos. And I can't remember which video, but she said in the video, because she's an art director and graphic designer, she has her own clients and stuff like that, and she's very good at what she does. And she says that a very common thing that comes up when she sometimes gets emails or inquiries from people who are just getting their YouTube started or getting some other type of brand started is they'll try to ask her to create like a logo and stuff like that to assist with their branding, but she'll notice that they really haven't built anything up yet up to that point. I found that point that she made very interesting, in that branding is not something that you want to do straight out of the gate. So first off, what is a brand? A brand, the formal definition of it, is a product, brand, or service that you make unique to the rest of the market that it's a part of, and you promote it. And the way you promote it basically determines how easily it's recognized to the general public, as well as how easily it's communicated to other people. We're going to include this with the definition of branding itself, which is pretty much the same as a brand, but the act of branding is making that product or service or concept or idea unique and marketable to the general public, and then you promote it out from there. So in my mind, there are four main questions I think that people should ask themselves when it comes to not only identifying the brand of other people and other companies, but their own brand as well. Who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? And what's the desired impact or result of your actions? Now, the first two are self-explanatory. Who are you and what do you do? Now, I think the tricky one would be the third one. Why do you do what you do? The third one can be translated to, what problem do you want to see resolved? Or what space do you see that's empty that you think should be occupied? Those are other ways to look at that question of why you do what you do. And then the fourth one, what's the impact, is self-explanatory. Through your actions and through your motivations of pursuing this content creation, what you talk about, the music you make, the art in general you put out, painting, entertainment and movies and TV shows, your own personal kind of like news channel on YouTube, wherever the case may be, through your motivation to do that work, what do you want to see change in society? What do you want to see change in a space as small as your neighborhood? What do you want to see change on an academic level? That's something you mainly focus on. What do you want to see happen as a result of your work? And I think if you answer those four questions, you can come up with the basic identity of your brand, at least when you're first getting started. You can also use those four questions, I think, to come up with your elevator pitch, or what's also known as a 30-second pitch. For those who don't know, an elevator pitch is supposed to be like a super quick summary of who you are, what you do, and everything we've covered, but you say it in real time. Like, you practice saying it like if you ran into a director or an executive in an elevator and they're heading up to their office and they're super busy and you normally never see them, but you know who they are. You know how important they are to the organization. Maybe you just realize they're good for your personal network in general, or your professional network in general. So you want to get their attention and make yourself known to who they are without taking up too much of their time. Because if you take up too much of their time, you can be seen as a burden when they have work to do. So the 30-second pitch or the elevator pitch is meant to kind of circumvent that possible obstacle or that backlash of, hey, I have a lot of stuff to do, I don't have time to talk right now. Instead, you summarize the 4 questions that I brought up, and maybe you can do other research as well that's more helpful and that aligns more. But either way, you find a way to summarize your idea of who you are, what you do, and why you do it, and you pitch it to that person. You just throw it at them as an introduction. And it's supposed to allow you to stand out. It makes you more memorable. And it's supposed to be nice, direct, succinct, to a point where it doesn't take up too much of their time, not too much of their mental space, but just enough so that, if later on in the future they're looking for someone that fits a certain position, that fits a certain opportunity, they may have to think about it, but they may even come across and be like, hey, what about this boy or girl that ran into the elevator that does this, this, and that, and says they specialize in this? I wonder if they're still open to opportunity. I think I have somebody that I can reach out to for this opportunity, and that could be someone that can help you land your next big gig or land you your first big gig even, right? So that's the whole point of it. Now in this video, I do want to touch on the differences between branding and marketing, because there does tend to be a good amount of confusion when it comes to those two. A lot of people think that branding and marketing are the same things when they're actually pretty different. Some overlap, but they're pretty different and they apply to different things. Branding, you apply to the person or to the organization, and it's meant to be built up over time. It's something that you have to, kind of like the Great Wall of China, you know what I mean? Or Mount Rushmore. It's something that takes time. You don't develop a brand overnight, because your brand can change at any given time. Your brand consists of what industry you're in, the products that you make, the services you offer, all that stuff. And it takes time to do that, to build that up to where people see your name or see your logo or hear your catchphrase, hear your slogan, and they automatically know who you are. And in addition to knowing who you are, they may automatically think either good things or bad things. But either way, that becomes your brand. Marketing applies more to the physical products and services that you are trying to advertise to make money. So if someone needs a consultant, a tech consultant, and that's something I offer, primarily, let's say, in service delivery, project management, maybe if you're on the cybersecurity side, and even within cybersecurity, are you more on the cloud engineering, cloud architecture? Are you more on the governance, risk, and compliance side, right? General IT stuff, are you more into network engineering or network architecture? From the business side to the technical side, you market or promote your skills and services that you offer, which would allow you to make money. But branding is about who I am, what I do, why I do it, So whether you bring up your favorite musician or entertainer, whether you bring up a politician, you bring up an athlete, you know their brand based on what they show you. In terms of athletes, say LeBron, of course, we know his brand not only on the court as the king of basketball, but off the court as a humanitarian, a philanthropist, a business investor. Shaquille O'Neal, same thing, from the different franchises in the movie theater that he owns, all that stuff. Those are part of their professional brand, right? You can even include your family in your brand. LeBron has that type of effect. We don't know all the ins and outs, and we've heard some rumors, but he's a family man. He has been with the same woman that has supported him and had his back since he first got into the league at 18. There's never been no extracurricular activities, at least none that we know of. So he has both a brand. He has a brand that consists of both elements of his professional and his skills on the court, as well as his personal, from what he allows us to see with his family. That is his brand. That's who, like, when we see his name, we see his face. Those are the type of things we think of. We can think of some other things too, but those are the type of things we think of. When it comes to marketing is more of like those sponsorships and endorsement deals that he has when he shows up in those commercials with the home workout station and stuff like that. He's helping to market or promote the products of those companies, but he's also taking a piece of the pie by allowing them to do that because he's such an influential figure, right? So that's the difference. Branding applies to the person or the organization or the business. Marketing or advertising pertains to what is it that's going to actually make us money? What do we try to give people in exchange for money? That's the difference. The other and more simplified way of looking at it is that branding is more long-term, which is again why I say it takes time to build a brand, versus marketing is short-term. You may have a new product, a new iPhone, especially these days, a new iPhone comes out every year. Apparently there's already talk about an iPhone 16. I still haven't seen a single person with an iPhone 15, but it's short-term. So you can have a marketing campaign that's going to last as long as 6 months to a year for one product, and then they move on to the next model already, and you probably haven't even seen the old model yet, and they can keep rinsing and repeating, and before you know it, promotions or advertisements about the iPhone 15, 14, whatever are done and over with. You're already seeing ads about the iPhone 16, or we probably will be in the future, right? So that's the difference. Marketing is for a time when you have new products and services, or ones that are super popular and successful that are your money makers, and you want to push that to the forefront because it'll allow your company to make more money. But your brand, that is the company. It's what they are known for, how good they are, what they do, how consistent are they? Do you have positive or negative experiences with them? That's what branding pertains to. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave that video off here, guys. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions for me, leave that in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.